The phone buzzed at 2:14 a.m., a sound too sharp, too deliberate to be random. I was half asleep, my arm draped across the empty side of the bed. Emily's side. She'd told me she was staying late at the hospital, a double shift. But the message flashing across her screen didn't sound like work. Can't stop thinking about last night. Same time tomorrow. I stared at the words until the glow of the screen burned into my eyes. My heart didn't race, it just sank. A strange stillness filled me, like I'd fallen into water and the surface had closed above me. For 15 years, I had believed Emily was my person. The one who knew me in silence, who reached for my hand during storms, who whispered, "We'll be okay," when life kicked us down. But now, staring at that message, I realized she'd already left me. Only her body stayed behind. I didn't wake her when she came home that morning. I pretended to sleep as she tiptoed in, her scent carrying traces of perfume she never wore around me. I just watched her silhouette in the dim light, a stranger I'd once called my wife. The next few days were a blur of quiet observations. The extra showers. The phone always face down. The hollow laughter when she texted someone who wasn't me. I didn't confront her. Couldn't. Words felt too small for the ache swelling inside my chest. Instead, I planned. I began withdrawing money from our joint account, slowly, in small amounts she wouldn't notice. I found a cabin 3 hours north, an old fisherman's retreat by a lake, owned by a friend who owed me a favor. No cell signal. No noise. Just space. But before leaving, I needed to see the truth. The ugly, undeniable truth. So one night when she said she had another night shift, I followed her. Rain pelted the windshield as I tailed her car across town. My palms were slick on the steering wheel. She pulled into a small roadside inn, lights glowing like fireflies through the downpour. I parked a distance away, the sound of the rain drowning the world around me. When she stepped out of the car, I almost hoped she was meeting a friend. That she'd walk into that building for something. Anything innocent. Then a man came out to greet her. Confident. Wearing the kind of grin that made my stomach twist. She walked straight into his arms. Not hesitating, not looking around, just home in his embrace. I don't remember how long I sat there. The rain blurred everything, even my tears. All I knew was that the woman I loved was gone, and I didn't even know when I'd lost her. The next morning I packed a single duffel bag. Left my phone on the kitchen counter beside my wedding ring. A note sat beneath it, just 3 words. "Don't look for me." Then I drove. I didn't stop until the city disappeared in the rearview mirror, until the noise of my own thoughts was all that remained. The cabin was quiet, painfully so. It stood by a lake that mirrored the sky, surrounded by pines that sighed in the wind. For the first few days I didn't speak. Didn't eat much. I just sat on the porch and listened to the world move without me. It's strange how silence can both heal and destroy you. At first, it hurt. Every second alone was a reminder of what I'd lost. But slowly the pain softened. I started chopping wood, cooking again, fixing the broken railing on the porch. I watched the sunrise and, for the first time in years, didn't rush to be anywhere. I didn't hate her. That surprised me. I thought I would. But hate would have meant I still cared enough to feel fire. What I felt instead was emptiness. The quiet kind that doesn't scream, it just exists. Months passed. No calls, no texts. I'd left my old life behind completely. Until one morning, as I was walking back from the lake, a car pulled into the dirt road leading to the cabin. Froze. Dust swirled in the air, and the car door opened. Emily stepped out. She looked thinner, paler, the brightness in her eyes replaced by something hollow. She scanned the clearing until her gaze landed on me. For a second she didn't breathe. "Daniel," her voice cracked. "You're alive." I said nothing. Just watched her as she took a hesitant step forward. "I looked everywhere," she continued, her words trembling. "I went to your brother, your work, I even called the police. They said you just vanished." I turned back toward the cabin. "That was the point." "Please," she whispered. "Let me explain." I stopped, facing the lake again. Explain what? The nights you lied. The messages. The man at the inn. My voice stayed calm, too calm. What part of that needs clarification? Tears welled in her eyes. It wasn't what it looked like. Don't, I interrupted softly. Don't insult me like that. She sank to her knees in the dirt, hands trembling. I made a mistake, Daniel. I was lonely. You were so distant after your father died. I didn't know how to reach you. Turn slowly. So you reached someone else. She covered her face, sobbing. I ended it. The moment I saw you were gone, I realized how much I'd destroyed. Please come home. I'll do anything. Her words should have made me feel something. Pity, anger, closure, something. But all I felt was the wind against my face and the quiet rustle of leaves behind her. I already am home, I said finally. She looked up, her eyes searching mine for the man she used to know. You can't just throw everything away. 15 years. You threw them first, I said. I just stopped trying to catch what was left. She stayed for an hour, maybe two, trying to fix what couldn't be fixed. Promising therapy, forgiveness, another chance. I listened quietly. Then, when her voice broke into silence, I simply said, You should go before it gets dark. She hesitated at the car door. Will I ever see you again? I shook my head. You already did. Her car disappeared down the road, dust trailing like ghosts behind it. I stood there long after she was gone, until the sound of the engine faded into the trees. The days after that felt lighter, strangely enough. I knew she'd regret it. Maybe she already did. But regret doesn't heal what's been broken. It only reminds you of what you can't undo. Sometimes I think about her, the way she used to hum while making coffee, or how she'd curl into me on cold nights. But those memories belong to another life. To another version of us that died long before I disappeared. Now, when the sun sets over the lake and the sky bleeds into gold, I feel something I hadn't felt in years. Peace. Not forgiveness, not revenge. Just peace. A year later I received a letter. No return address. Just my name scrawled in handwriting I could never forget. Inside was a photograph, Emily and me years ago, smiling on a beach somewhere. On the back she'd written, I finally understand what you meant by home. I hope you found yours. E. I stared at it for a long time, then folded it gently and set it on the windowsill. Outside, the lake shimmered in the evening light, calm and endless. Maybe she'd found her peace too. Maybe this was how love ends, not in anger or tears, but in quiet acceptance that some stories aren't meant to be repaired. As the sun dipped below the horizon, I whispered to the fading light, Goodbye, Emily. And for the first time in forever, it didn't hurt to say it.